just to highlight a few items that really impressed us about Dewberry was our initial conceptual plan had a floor plan, which Dewberry actually took and revised our floor plan, presented a floor plan that reduced the square footage of the building, but did not compromise the functionality of the building. So that wasn't a requirement in our interview process. It was more of a discussion base, but they actually took the time to modify the floor plan and present a floor plan that would be acceptable to us. Another thing that they did that really impressed us was they provided an updated exterior rendering. Basically, they provided a rendering showing how we could reduce costs by removing pop-outs on the building and also still maintaining a beautiful building. And last but not least, something that really impressed us, which was not a requirement out of the interview, was they shared that they have in-house grant writers that they could help us find funding to try to fill that gap of the funding that we have. So that wasn't a requirement of the interview, but we were really impressed that they provided that option for us. So after selecting the Dewberry as a top candidate, staff proceeded with checking references and entered into cost negotiations. The total cost for design services submitted by Dewberry is $1,088,728. This cost is consistent with the cost of design for projects of this size, which typically amounts to 10% of the construction cost. The estimated construction cost based on the revisions that Dewberry provided to us is $12,500,000. And although we don't have the sufficient funds to proceed with construction of the project, we'd still like to proceed with moving forward with the design phase of this project. So the financial impact for the design of the police station is $1,088,728, in which the fiscal year 24-25 capital improvement project budget currently allocated $340,000 to this project. As such, budget adjustment of $748,728 is required to cover the difference. The city has $5 million held in reserve from the grant awarded by Senator Melissa Hurtado and Assemblymember Dr. Jasmine Baines, which will fully cover the cost of design, ensuring there's no financial burden to the general fund. So staff recommends the approval of the award of the architectural services agreement with Dewberry Architects for the design of the new police station and approving a budget adjustment of $748,728 to ensure the full funding. And I do have Patty Esposito here with Dewberry, which will be providing a short presentation for you guys.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you letting me introduce Dewberry to you. We are, let me see if I can use this first. Let me do this one first. So we are rated, 34 out of the 500 top design firms in the United States, but actually fourth in public safety facilities. We've earned more than 250 awards for public safety at Dewberry. So that's kind of just our overall, we're a 2,200 person design firm. Here in California, I would say we're a little more quaint. We're a little smaller here in California, and we do focus on more of our little community projects that you'll see in my presentation. But nationally, yeah, we've done a lot of big facilities as well. The one thing that really, I think the benefit to being this large firm is that we have some really national subject matter experts, and that's what we'll bring to this project, and that's what I'll come back. So Jonathan Tolman here, that will be the subject matter expert for this project. I know the interview committee has met him, but he has touched all these public facilities that you're going to see. And then G, he's out of our Pasadena office, and he would be the project architect on the project. And then me as the project manager. This is a project we did for Glen Allen in Illinois. It's obviously a large facility. It's like 30,000 square feet. That was recently completed in 2016, I believe. Here's another one for, sorry, I'm not sure I'm doing this right. Bartlesville, Oklahoma. This is an interesting one where it was actually an existing campus, an existing police campus, where we did a renovation and a new police station here. This one is in design right now in Indiana, very large police facility. This was actually a remodel believe it or not, in Vienna, Virginia. This Cleveland one, their MO was, they really wanted to make sure that the public was welcome in, and that was the whole design premise, is to bring the public in and say, here we're open, but also have that sense of, civic grandeur and safety. Another one, this one's probably a little more your scale project, but on Oklahoma as well. This one was interesting. It was actually a fire station that we renovated into a police facility. And another one in Illinois. And then something a little more probably relevant. This is a project we're working on right now with Fowler. It's, I think it's like 16,000 square feet. It is just went to bid, and they awarded the bid just recently, so it would be in construction probably by the first of the year. They tore down an existing senior center, or they're going to tear down an existing senior center. It's downtown, so the look of the building really had to match that historic significance of the brick that Fowler downtown has. So the new facility, the new police facility, is actually sharing a building with a new senior center, or we're moving them out and then moving them back in. Here's another one that is out to bid right now. It's a new county for Lake. It's their new sheriff's facility. It's an interesting project. They did a land swap with the state of California, and it was an old armory, National Guard armory. And so we renovated into their new sheriff's facility. And this will be the first time that every department for the sheriffs will actually be under one roof. So very much looking forward to it. And then this one you probably recognize because it's your floor plan. So this is what the floor plan that we were given before the interview, and really asked, as you also kind of said, to kind of look at the floor plan and make sure that maybe we can look at areas where maybe the building might be oversized, but really looking for ideas on how to maybe phase the project and really try to get the project within scope. So we did do that, and so for the interview, we brought back some ideas, and you'll see it's what we presented at the interview. At the top where you see the two, those were areas that we thought maybe were a little oversized that we could probably bring down. But the space to the right is areas that we kind of relocated or potentially relocate for the idea of maybe we do have to phase this project and we can only do so much at this point. What would be a good departments that would be suitable for, where you still plan it as the master plan, but for right now, we may not be able to fit it in the budget right now. So kind of looking at the floor plan on how could we possibly, phase the project in the future. And the bottom part, the orange, was, again, an area that we thought was a little oversized or potentially oversized. We were also asked to come up with other ideas for, cost savings, and one of the ideas was even to maybe potentially go to a pre-engineered metal building, but definitely to simplify the design that you currently have to reduce scope, but still create that civic pride that, a building of this type should, project to the your public. And we came up with an idea we call kind of the mountain idea, which you guys look out to. And this concept, obviously, it's just a concept right now, but it was really looking at that idea of how could we simplify the building, keep it, that civic pride, and also maybe even incorporate, a pre-engineered metal building and what that could look like, for a police facility. I don't know if you have any questions for me, but we're excited to be here.
Okay, council, you have any questions, concerns? This is the time to speak up. We'll start with Ms. Gonzalez.
No, I don't have anything, thank you.
Ms. Perez.
No, nothing, thank you.
Mr. Ione.
I just got one question. You talked about, or Darlis talked about, about your company helping us to look into getting grants or funds. What does that usually entitle, or 10%, 15%? I mean, just throw out a figure. What do they do as far as that? What type of tasks or stuff do they do? What they do for us?
Well, there are funds out there for especially smaller communities like yourself, like the USDA. Now, those processes do take some time, so that's not something you can go after and get it within 2 months.
Right.
But there are definitely programs out there. Rebecca, who is our grant writer, I was just with last week, she has, I want to say the statistic that I heard was like 200 million last year for local agencies. It's not my expertise, but she definitely is. It is definitely hers, and if that's something you're really interested in speaking with her, I'm sorry I didn't really bring that information, but she's definitely an expert, and very well known for being able to grab grants and write them and help write them, because that's the other part, knows, how to write them to be successful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Vice Mayor? Okay. Patty, I got some questions regarding the grant writer. You guys have girls, do you guys have a local office nearby? I know you built in Fowler and stuff, but I know that question.
We have our design office in Pasadena. We do have an office in Fresno,
Okay.
but our grant writer is actually in Sacramento area.
Close to a lot of lobbyists.
Correct, that's why she's there.
Just making sure. Because that funding it's available, so it's important to go to the same restaurants.
Yeah, she is in the Sacramento area, which
Especially
is doable. I just did it today. It's not,
especially in the rural areas, right? So
and that's really where her
expertise is
yes
the wheelhouse.
is
I mean,
in smaller communities. Yeah,
We're about 8-9 million short right now, but one thing I really like is even though we can't potentially build it all, there's a future expansion to continue to build and have our chief and our police officers and non-sworn and everybody have a place to do their jobs, so.
and even some of those examples I showed you, like that were 30,000 square feet. Those were actually still phased projects, where like their evidence storage and
Yeah.
whole evidence was actually designed.
Right.
But it was actually a phased project. So, I mean, that's very common. That's why I think we know where to phase, like how to do that. And obviously we don't know where your evidence is now and could it stay there. I mean, we don't have all the information right now, but obviously once we kick off the project and kind of understand how you run right now, that will obviously help us understand probably the best way to phase the project.
Yeah, as far as the concept, the building, I think we would like to all have input, as far as it looks, because.
Oh, for sure. I mean,
obviously.
and this was done without us in the dark, but I mean, that, of course, it's your facility and we look forward to that part. That's the fun part, for sure.
Absolutely. Okay. I have no future questions right now, but yeah, I think the most important is try to get some of that grant funding and continue this positive partnership.
Right. And also, obviously, Jonathan, he truly is a national subject matter. So if there's going to be some good ideas, it'll definitely come from him. He does a lot of seminars for IACP and.
Perfect. We have no questions. Public, do you have any questions, concerns regarding this potential building coming soon?
Coming soon.
Seeing none. Curtis? No, you're good? Where's it gonna go? Right where the jail facility, those acres that we purchased about a year ago. It's about 18 acres, but we don't plan on using them all.
No.
We purchased for a good amount of money.
And some good phasing, if possible.
Yeah. We're looking for that kind of contract with Dewberry as far as that kind of negotiation. What we purchased it for. I don't think that's for $1.
Thank you.
She's done.
I mean, I'll tell you, every project I've ever worked on in my entire career, and it's been a long one, there's always challenges. I mean, everybody has funding issues, but kind of like Lake County, when we went into that project, they had no idea where they were getting the money. I mean, literally, and they kept just moving forward with just that it's going to happen, and it wasn't until we were in construction documents that they came up with how they were going to pay for it. So they really threw the dice out there, just knowing how much they wanted it. Their departments were spread all over the place, and just with grit, they've made it work.
Agreed. Well, thank you for coming out. Since we have no questions right now or comments or concerns, do I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Ayon, second by Councilmember Perez. Madam Clerk, may I have a roll call?
Mayor Ayon,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Cano,
Aye.
Councilmember Ayon,
Aye.
Councilmember Gonzalez?
Aye.
Councilmember Perez? Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Moving on to item number 12, approval of resolution number 2024-122, a resolution of the City Council of the City of McFarland approving an agreement between the City of McFarland and D. Jasper and Associates for the design and construction management of a new water well. So your lease.
Honorable Mayor, City Council members, I'm pleased to announce that on October 14th, the City of McFarland received an executed agreement securing funding through the State Water Board for Expedited Drinking Water Grant. This grant will fund the design and construction of a new, much-needed city water well. The Expedited Drinking Water Grant allocates a total of $8,532,402 for the construction and design of the new water well. One of the requirements for receiving the funding is to have a professional engineering services contract in place for the design and construction of the new well. Staff reached out to our city on-call water engineer, D. Jasper and Associates, and requested a proposal. The proposal by D. Jasper and Associates includes the cost for a design of a test well, which is completed before the actual well is drilled. The test well is a critical step to determine the quality of water at specific depths. The test well is, the cost proposal also includes the design, bidding, and construction management and inspection of the well. The total cost of D. Jasper and Associates proposal is $720,935. The financial impact of the design and construction management of the new water well is $720,935. These costs have been incorporated into fiscal year 24-25 capital improvement program budget. Also, the professional services agreement will be funded by the grant received by the State Water Board. So staff recommends adopting a resolution authorizing the city manager to sign and execute an agreement with D. Jasper and Associates for the design, construction management of a new water well. And I do have Curtis Skaggs here, principal engineer with D. Jasper and Associates, to discuss the process moving forward. So he can answer any technical questions you may have.
Well, welcome, Curtis. Hey, I think you upset somebody. They put you in the bottom of the administrative agenda. You had a long relationship here. What's going on?
I don't know. Save the best for last.
They want to make you a full-time employee with those benefits. You know what I mean? So go ahead and do you have anything, or do you want?
Yeah, so Honorable Mayor, council members, my name is Curtis Skaggs with D. Jasper and Associates. I did want to walk through just real briefly kind of what the project entails and what our scope of work covers. It is important to note, I think, that the $8 million grant funding agreement allocated about $1.2 million for engineering and soft costs. So where we're at about $720,000 leaves plenty of budget still for anything that comes up over the next couple years as far as unforeseen circumstances or additional scope that gets added to the project. In a nutshell, as your list stated, the scope of the work is drinking water supply for the community. And so in order to do that, we would have three distinct phases: a test water well phase, then the drilling of the production well, and the equipping of the well and the site development. And what that looks like is a test water well at the property would be exploratory. It'd be like a 6 to 8 inch diameter hole about 900 feet deep that would allow us to get very detailed water quality information as we drill down, so that every water-bearing formation we could look at. And it would tell us where the poor water quality is and where the good water quality is. We want to see how far down below ground surface does the 123 TCP go, how far down do we have a nitrate issue, and see if we can avoid those contaminants in the production well. Then in the second phase, the drilling and development of the drinking water well, that would be the actual supply well. It's a separate hole from the test well. The test well would be abandoned, but we would drill the production well within 50 to 100 feet of that previously done test well, so that we have good water quality information. We would drill likely a 16-inch diameter hole down to about 1,000 to 1,400 feet below ground surface, and we'd be trying to identify areas that have good water quality and complete the well there. And then the third phase would be to equip that well. Concrete foundations, pump and motor, discharge piping, electrical and controls, development of the site with fencing, site ground cover, site painting, things of that nature, and treatment if it becomes necessary. In our scope, we're providing pretty much soup to nuts, everything for the project. the environmental work that would be required, any permitting with the State Water Board, geotechnical investigation, biological reports. And for each of those three phases, all of that work would fold into plans, specifications, and an engineer's estimate for the test well, the production well, and then the equipping of the well. We would assist with the bid administration, job walks, responding to requests for information, bid opening, then the recommendation for award to the city council as well as the State Water Board, and then the construction, inspection, management, and oversight of all of that activity, making sure that we're in compliance with the grant agreement, project reports, certifications, inspections, and providing all of the final closeout documents to make sure that we've been in compliance with the grant.
Perfect. Thank you, Curtis. I'm going to open up to the public, see if they have any questions, concerns with this new well, water well. I know the water is a sensitive topic here in McFarland for a long, long, long time. And I think this is important that somebody might have concerns or questions about the work that the city staff and the administration is doing, including the engineering company. So I don't see anybody coming to the mic. Somebody with the suit might. No? Okay, you're good. Oh, go ahead.
Hello, my name is David Soto. And what happened to the old well? What's wrong with it? That you guys want to build a new one?
Do you want the expert or do you want the other expert? Yeah.
So that this well would, in theory, replace the Browning Road well, although I don't believe that's an obligation of the grant.
Yeah.
But the well, the water quality in that Browning well changed. So the nitrate levels began to increase in the well, and treatment is extremely expensive, and so the city worked to obtain a grant to replace the well.
But if you guys do a new one, would that happen again, or is it always gonna happen, or?
Well, no, that's what we're not going to go back and forth, but he's going to explain it like he explained that when they test, when they go dig, they're going to try to stay away from the TCP or nitrate
okay,
because
so-
of this area that we live in, because of the agriculture, the dairies, and everything else. It's everywhere, so we have to treat our water now. Everybody in Kern County has this problem, so that's why we applied for a grant to get a new well, because the one in Brownie Road is costing the city about $90,000 a month, about $1.2 million to treat that water. And the problem is, for a long time here in McFarland, those wells were never, nobody ever went and asked for money for the funding. We've had those wells. The newest well, it's 2012, and that's our newest well in Brownie Road, and it has those contaminants that's been treated.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the city will save money doing a new one?
Yes, yeah. Even though it's $8 million, but we got a grant from the state, so we're not paying into it. So that's what happens when you have staff that know what they're doing. You apply for a grant, you continue to apply for a grant, then you have a council that keeps on fighting for that water, for that money, and that's what we were allocated about a year ago. But so we have money coming in for new wells. So, yeah.
All right.
Cool.
That's
Thank-
it. Thank you.
Thank you. The council, do you have anybody else from the public? Seeing none, closing public comment. We'll start with Ms. Perez for the council.
I think it's great. I know that, Mayor, you've put a lot of work into it along with the directors here in the city. Thank you for all of that. And I wish that the people that were complaining about this were here to listen to this great news. Thank you.
True. Thank you, Ms. Perez. Ms. Gonzalez?
Where did you say the location is gonna be for this?
You know, I didn't say that, but
Okay.
it's on city-owned property west of Highway 99 on the south side of Elmo Highway on a vacant lot adjacent to the existing retention basin.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Ione?
I don't have any comments. Thank you.
Vice Mayor?
No questions, just comments. I mean, it's a great news for our town, community, for the people, especially the east side. We do care about everyone, so this is awesome news.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Ms. Perez, I couldn't agree with you anymore regarding our water situation. We took a lot of heat the last 2 years regarding the building, the water, and then the news station that put that ridiculous story out there that our water was contaminated, causing people's hair to turn green. And I mean, I still go to Sacramento there, and I don't want to say they're upset about it because the story was totally false. They never came and asked our staff or department heads anything about what's going on with the water. And obviously, you're the expert in this field for a long time. So when that story was told, a lot of individuals were like, what's going on with our water, you know? And the problem thing is that they don't realize that the state audits our water with weekly samples. And when we did find out that the TCP was high or the nitrate, we shut down that well. But we had to continue to send that message out because it was, I guess, whenever somebody says something first, it's biblical, you know, without having the facts or documentation. So, but yeah, Ms. Perez, absolutely. I wish there was a mob of people here to hear you and about what the staff has done and what we've done securing this funding and don't have to tax our people for a new water well. And we've got other things coming. But thanks, Curtis, for that presentation. Do I have a motion to approve?
Second.
Motion by Vice Mayor Cano, second by Councilmember Ayon. Madam Clerk, may I have roll call, please?
Mayor Ayon.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Cano.
Aye.
Councilmember Ayon.
Aye.
Councilmember Gonzalez.
Aye.
Councilmember Perez.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Moving on to public comment. Members of the public wishing to address the council about any item not on the agenda may do so at this time. Speakers are limited to 2 minutes for each person. 15 minutes total will be allowed for any one subject. Please state your name for the record, your name and address for the record before making presentation. Council, Madam Clerk, do we have anybody for public comment?
There are none.
Thank you. Is there anybody that would like to make public comment now that we're on this item? Seeing none, closing. You good? All right. No. Do we have any council comments? Seeing none. Okay. Reports from the city council on the committee and special district meetings. Current council of governments, current COG. Yes. Last week we had a conference here regarding CTC, and that's California Transportation Commission. So let me get with the Caltrans. As far as the last 2 weeks, our city staff, our council has been real busy with Caltrans. We actually brought 24 of their workers about 2 weeks ago for an audit to see our bridges and see the lack of our infrastructure. They were here. And then last week, we ended up having some of the commissioners here to visit our city and obviously see our bridges and see the lack of infrastructure that we have here that's affecting economic development due to the fact that our interchanges are not adequate for business, manufacturing companies, or off and on ramps. But the meetings turned out to be a very positive meeting. We ended up getting a good partnership with the commissioners. And so I would just like to make this quick comment as far as today I stand before you and feel with the determination as we embark into a new journey for our city. The journey has been years in the making. For decades, we have faced significant challenges maintaining our streets and our infrastructure. These structures are lifelines for our community, yet Met has been suffering from neglect and wear, leading to safety concerns and economic setbacks. But today I'm thrilled to announce the groundbreaking partnership with the California Transportation Commission and Caltrans. This partnership is not just a strategic alliance. It represents our collective commitment to improving our very foundations of our city. The last 4 years, this council and the city staff have worked tirelessly to address the pressing need for infrastructure improvements, including the water. We've conducted assessments, developed plans, and fought for funding. But many obstacles stood in our way from our aging streets, bridges, and staff, and require immediate attention to increasing demands of our growing population, the challenges that felt overwhelming at times. However, with our CTC, working with CTC and an opportunity to turn that tide, CTC brings expertise, resources, and proven track record for successful transportation projects across California. Together, we will bring safety, prioritize safety, enhance mobility, and then have community engagement, and then safety for our students crossing that bridge from the east side to the west side to go to schools when they get to the middle school and the high school. So today, there's another chapter for our city, our chapter where we refuse to accept the status quo, chapter where we embrace collaboration and innovation, and we've paved the way for a brighter and connected future. I want to extend my gratitude to everyone who worked tirelessly to bring this to this moment. This partnership is not the end of our journey, but and the beginning to build a safer, more efficient community for all of us. So I just wanted to add that we had these meetings, and it went well. I mean, I'm not going to guarantee everything because you can't guarantee, but they know where McFarland's at. I went to a Kern County meeting, and I had some comments made by some individuals that have been with Congress and stuff, and they said due to our meeting here in McFarland, this meeting that when the commissioners came, it said that, which was kind of not funny, but it said, yeah, McFarland is right now is the heart and soul of Kern County. I was like, what? But anyways, I said, I don't want to take compliments. Just give us funding for our water and roads. You know what I mean? But anyways, I just want to make that a point that through the council's support and our administration, I called them in a short notice, hey, we need to set this up immediately. Let's get these people. And together with the school district and a lot of residents citizens here came out and helped out. And I think it was such a positive impact meeting that we had. And I don't want to throw a number out there because that's not what's going to be allocated here. But when they said, hey, we are in charge of $14 billion, I was like, okay, what else do you guys need? So we'll take some of that to fix our bridges and everything else. But it's all about networking, and it's all about getting out there and raising your hand and fighting for your community. So thank you, staff, for adapting, making those changes, picking up the individuals. It was a very satisfying and proud moment. Mr. Ayllón, thank you for attending short notice as well. I would have asked the other council, but I didn't want to violate the Brown Act, like if I'm really worried about it. But anyways, I just didn't want to. But anyways, thank you. For the next time, we'll share. But I just want to share about Kern Cog. And they were very proud of what McFarland did that day as a whole team. So, okay. And then LAFCO, we had a meeting on Wednesday. We're still talking about annexations, even annexation 19 here and with the city of Bakersfield, but there was really no highlight to the meeting besides being 2 hours long. We're going to move on to Delano mosquito abatement. Mr. Vice Mayor.
I'm going to read a report from our manager for the end of the season. So the district has conducted 13 ultra low volume fog operations this season, targeting high numbers of adult mosquitoes detected and heightened mosquito-borne transmission risk. The district will be ending the ULV operations for the season due to cooler evenings and lack of inversion layers. Routine mosquito surveillance continued through the month of September, mid-October. 14,568 mosquitoes were collected across 87 traps. You got to remember this is McFarland, Delano, and Tulare County. District-wide average of 167 mosquitoes per trap per night for a mid-September to mid-October is 116% higher than previous year average of 77.45 mosquitoes per trap to date. So it just gives you an idea of the mosquito population in the area of McFarland, Delano, and Rich Grove. And that is it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cano. Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes, we had a meeting today with the Public Policy and Finance Committee. We went over a little bit of the finances in regards to the past due. Before the pandemic, the past due was around $40,000 a month. During the pandemic, it went all the way up to $940,000. So currently, our past due is about $180,000, and it's going down, which is good. But just for any people that are out there that are struggling to pay their bills, we have some programs out there that are able to help you, even something as simple as a promise to pay. So just a little FYI on that part. Also, we got some new meters, and so Public Works will be going out there and changing out some of the old meters So, and on a fun note, maybe, tomorrow and Friday, the Mujeres Activas will be having their festival. And so just to be part of that would be fun. And, Saturday, I guess the trunk or treat will be happening.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Gonzalez. Ms. Perez for Public Safety Committee.
Well, thanks to Chief Knox for his presentation with us. We met also today, and he informed us about how well the flock cameras are working, to the point where people have been caught and arrested because of them. We are still continuing to hire for code enforcement and animal control officers, and these new hires should be done by the middle of November. We have 3 new police vehicles that will be sent to Bakersfield for upfitting. 2 of them were vehicles that were involved in that were wrecked in May of this year. We also have Officer Galvan, or Corporal Galvan, who is going through homicide training, or just finished the training, and he will assist with ongoing investigation regarding open homicide cases, which one was recently solved due to his efforts, and of course the rest of the police department, and that's about it.
We met earlier. There was 4 things on the agenda that we talked about. First one was the festival committee. Talked about some of the things that are coming forward with them. The closest being the event of the Christmas parade, Christmas run, and the toy distribution. One of the concerns was the route. The route has been changed several years already, or the last couple of years, caused chaos where the drop-off was. Goal, or one of our wants is from Councilman Cano, is that there's some money and stuff invested in the tree lighting, and that we can have our parade in there. We also talked about the over capacity of our dog pound out there, or pound, and how we can find ways to better have a better situation for the animals there. There's been some animals that have been there for several years. We don't want to euthanize any animals, but sometimes things gotta, go forward to make sure that overcrowd doesn't exist, because there's other problems that occur when there's overcrowding. One of the other things that we discussed, grabbing my notes here, sorry. The first thing we talked about was the downtown committee several years ago, maybe about 10 years ago, Cal Poly, in partnership with Cal Poly San Luis Obispo and their engineering and architecture department there. They designed the downtown structure, beautifying the main Kern Street and some other cross streets there. Even though there's nothing been come through fruition and things that have been done, we talked about maybe amping up and starting that new committee again. And we're looking for volunteers and people to be part of that committee. And the last thing, which is getting closest to us, is honoring our veterans, the veterans here at the memorial, the Lions Club, and maybe I think also McFarland Unified is the 2 entities or groups that really promote and honor our veterans. Lions Club will be doing something on the November the 16th from 10 to 12 p.m. All the public is invited for that. I myself, I'm going to be there, and I'm going to have some of my cross country kids come in and volunteer some of their time for this great cause. Let me think here. What else is there? They're going to honor a person that they brought over from. If I'm correct, Chief, they brought him over, or Diego from. You want to reiterate? Yeah. Okay, so they're going to honor a veteran and fallen hero, and that's going to be part of the ceremony. And so the public is welcome to come and attend it. November 16th, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. So the public is welcome to come. So those are the four things we discussed. Yep.
Okay, thank you, Councilman Rayon. Before we go into council statements and reports, Chief Knox can you talk about the event on Saturday?
Sure. Saturday we have the Trunk or Treat International Night Out event over
Chief, can you get the mic?
All right, so Saturday at 5 o'clock, we're going to have the National Night Out and Trunk or Treat event at Kern Avenue School. It'll be a good time. Give away a lot of candy, prizes for costumes, things like that. So great family fun event, great for the community. So come on out.
And don't forget, Chief is going to be part of that dunk, what's it called?
I will be in the dunk tank because the mayor refused.
No, the vice mayor is replacing me. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, we'll
There's going to
move
be a
on.
long line when Mayor Ayon is on the.
I know, that's the problem. Thank you, Chief, for that report, and hopefully Saturday, everybody comes out and has a fun time, a good time. Now moving on to council statements and reports on their own initiative. Council members may make a brief announcement or a brief report on their own activities. In addition, council members may ask a question of staff or the public for clarification on any matter, provided reference to staff or other resources for information. Alternatively, request staff to report to the city council at a later meeting concerning any matter. Furthermore, the city council or any member thereof may take action to direct staff to place a matter of business on a future agenda. We'll start with Ms. Gonzalez.
Just everybody, thank you for coming, and Curtis, taking your time to come over here and present that. It was really useful. Other than that, I got a little ahead of myself in regards to the trunk or treat and the Mujeres Activas, but anyway, I hope to see everybody there. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gonzalez. It's all right. When anything's positive, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We'll get off the agenda. I'll take it. All right, go ahead, Ms. Perez.
Since this is breast cancer awareness month, I'd like to encourage women to, if you're at the age already, to get your screening. I know I got my screening done on Monday on my day off. I went and did that. Thank you, staff, directors, for all the hard work that you are doing. There's a lot of great things coming still. It's so different from when I first came into office 6 years ago. It has done a total 180. The city has done a total 180 with all the resources, everything that's been done, that's coming. Again, thank you for all of that.
Thank you, Ms. Perez. Mr. Ayon?
I share the same sentiments as the other council personnel that they're sharing with their kudos and thanks to the staff. We want to thank the personnel that came in from the architecture department, for the police station, to our person there, Curtis, for that new water tank and the information that you're providing, the transparency to our citizens. The hardworking people, our personnel, from Diego to everybody here, Paul, Serena, Chief, and your staff. Kudos to you guys. Our city is a better place, and it's getting better. So we want to thank you for that and keep working hard.
Thank you, Mr. Ayon. Vice Mayor?
I just have one question for Chief. Are we going to have the hot dogs? I didn't get any last year, by the way. Not that I need them.
There will be hot dogs for free. Get there early.
Sorry, just wanted to add that.
Hey, it's your time, so.
I wanted to, of course, thank everyone. I think that a lot is happening in City Hall. I think I said it before. Sometimes it seems like it's quiet, but it's not. Inside, there's a lot going on. Diego, Paul, Yearlys, Serena, and of course, Mayor. Maria, Councilmember Perez mentioned it in one of her statements earlier today. But the mayor has a lot of involvement in getting a lot of these projects off the ground, and of course, making the connections with the political side of it. Chief and the police department keeping our city safe. I want to thank Patty from Dewberry for being here today, and Curtis from Jasper and D for being here today for the presentation, and also Eric. Thank you guys. That was a lot of information, and thank you for being here tonight. And for the community members that are here, thank you and welcome to our meetings.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. We'll finish it off. I want to thank this young gentleman that dresses up for the meeting. What's his name? Nathan? What was it? Avi. Like the hairdo. Sharp. Suit is too. But I want to echo what the council members said, as far as we're coming in. Curtis, I know we've had a good partnership the last couple of years, very transparent and honest call as it is. That's what we like to do is partner with our vendors, especially at discounted rate. I really like how you came under $1 million. Are you hearing that, Patsy, back there? So I know you're the project manager, but let's, we're a rural community. We're not there economically. We treat our employees well, as you can see with our benefit package. We try to keep good talent here. But I want to thank our police department, first responders, the fire services, our city staff, Diego, Erica. Thanks. Continue doing good work and improving every time. We all improve in everything. So continue. There's challenges, but challenges bring opportunities. But I want to thank all you, all the department heads, all the city staff. Our city's totally. I don't really get a lot of complaints, but I just get a lot of concerns. So I guess that's a lot better, right? We have the Mujeres Activas event tomorrow. I know it's a collaboration with the city, but that's their pumpkin patch. I think everybody should go and attend. It's a good event. It's for the kids. It's trying to raise funding for what was it, pumpkin patch, harvest holidays, and our first ever. So, and it's at our community garden that's been nominated by the Western states and nationally, top 10. So I think it's a positive thing. It's from 4 to 7, Thursday and Friday. Then Saturday we have the trunk or treat and the national night out. We have some big events coming out and appreciating our staff and the residents out here to have a good time and stay safe. And then we don't have anything much to mention. Hey, Nate, how you doing? I didn't see you all day there, but we're good.
Can I add something?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to remind everyone that November 5th is Elections Day. The city, of course, we talked about the trunk or treat, which is going to be held at the Kern Avenue backside lot or the basketball area.
Kern Avenue.
At Kern Avenue?
Mm-hmm. Basketball, yeah.
Basketball lot in the back, the remodeled one. And then on Fifth Street. And then there is a community vigil being put together on November 14th here at our Veterans Hall. So just want to add that for you can put it on your calendar. Very important. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, like Vice Mayor said, November 5th is elections. And remember, elections have consequences. So go and vote, all right? And with that, do I have a motion to adjourn our meeting?
Second.
Man, that's all four of you. But motion by Vice Mayor Cano, second by Councilmember Perez. Madam Clerk, may I have a roll call?
Mayor Ayon,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Cano,
Aye.
Councilmember Ayon,
Aye.
Councilmember Gonzalez. Gonzalez.
Oh, aye.
Councilmember Perez.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Meeting adjourned. 7:20.